That's so shady. God, it's data centers. Hello, I'm Katy Spence. I am MEIC's Communications and Engagement Director, and I'm going to be reading through some of the most WTF moments in NorthWestern Energy's IRP. IRL. Okay, so this is a big one. The IRP is 332 pages and it mentions climate change one time. And that's in reference to someone in a stakeholder meeting saying, will the IRP consider climate change? The answer is no, apparently. However, the IRP does talk about weather and risks such as ever hotter summer heat waves, growing threat of prolonged drought, and extreme weather events that are occurring with increasing frequency and severity. That's climate change. And you know what drives climate change is increased use of fossil fuels, which is what this IRP is trying to do. This one's annoying. Consumers in Montana are not using more energy, but they're saying we need 150 megawatts more than we needed a couple of years ago. You can measure how much consumers, ratepayers like you and me, use. It has been relatively static since 2009. I think it's grown 3.6% consumer use of electricity, but 150 megawatts is a huge amount. And it's not because there's a bunch of people moving to Montana. What could they possibly be planning for? Data centers. Oh, here's another one. There are studies that show that Colstrip is not available during peak needs. We all remember that one winter where there were really record lows and Colstrip went down. And then during the summer, record highs, Colstrip went down. It is not a reliable plant, especially in extreme weather conditions. But NorthWestern used a loophole to exclude those outages from the plant's capacity in this report and said the plant is nearly available 100% of the time, even though it consistently goes offline. That's so shady. And if you didn't know, NorthWestern Energy gets to make a return on investment on the Colstrip coal-fired power plant until 2042. And that means we have to pay for the operation and maintenance of Colstrip until 2042. This plant was never built to last more than 40 years. It's gonna be 60 by the time 2042 comes around. This one gets me. NorthWestern Energy spends a lot of time making up numbers to make wind and solar look more expensive so they don't have to model it accurately in the IRP. Montana is one of the windiest states in the country, and they are modeling for basically no additional wind energy. It's free energy. It's free fuel. You don't have to pay for wind like you have to pay for coal and gas and nuclear fuel. For being a 332-page document, there sure is a lot of big gaps. Let's just say if I tried to turn this in as homework, it would not pass muster. Over and over again, they're just making these estimates that are much higher than industry standard estimates. They're not using real information to base these conclusions on, which means that their entire modeling scenario is based on made up numbers. They're making up numbers so that the end result is what they want. NorthWestern Energy is not being transparent about its planning processes, and we're going to pay for it.